Good day, good dunce. I don't know what I've done, but my middle finger on my right hand feels like it's popping out of the socket. It really hurts. Either that or a nerve is caught right in the middle there. I don't know, but it sucks. Ta-da! Mech suit. Yeah. We need to figure out the art style for the game tonight. Yeah. I don't know. Don't know what it's going to be. I'm going to look at things and be like, that looks nice, let's go with that. Hopefully. Hopefully. Like, right in there. Right in there. Feels like it's out of place. It's not sitting right. Something's... I don't know. Almost a round number. I don't know, 255 looks pretty round to me. I don't know if you can get more round than that, Orchrus. I don't know. Try pulling it out. That doesn't work. See? Like, doesn't work. Just hurts. I've always been like fairly double jointed in my knuckles, like being able to do that sort of thing. Like, I think maybe now it's... Maybe I'm finally getting arthritis. Maybe this is what arthritis feels like. Alright. Let's get into it. Flip stuff around, like so. I need to quickly go into Nightbot and turn off some stuff. Some things. Some bits and bobs. Yeah, that one we can get rid of. Timers. That's the one I want. That. Turn that off. Alright. Alright, the other thing I need to do. There it goes. I was wondering why it wasn't happening. Where are we? Where are we? Special start. This one here can be $24-hour stream. On Sunday, July 4th at 7 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. This will be Saturday, July 3rd at 2 p.m. Pacific Time. Something like that. Something like that. World clock. That's what we need. Right here. Melbourne. So if I change World Time Converter, World Clock Buddy, here we are. 5th, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. PDT. 1 p.m. July 5th. July 4th. There we go. There we go. Love it. All right, art direction. General theme. UI themes. Now I wonder. No, won't do that. If we have general theme and we go something like puzzle box room theme, I feel like the puzzle box room, it would be cool to have that as like there it goes. It'd be cool to have the puzzle box rooms. Oh, what would it be? Kind of like yeah. What's the word? Kind of like a wood study. You know what I mean? What about a mahogany? Yeah. Yeah. Something like these, you know? Something like these. You don't have the couches and stuff, but you got like a table in the middle that has the puzzle box on it. And you got stuff around the room. So you have like a fireplace. You have like bookshelves around the fireplace. No window. No window. You got a rug on the ground. You got stuff on the floor. Maybe we have a chair. Have a couple lamps. That type of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Puzzle box rooms should have a mahogany office. Look. We're talking fireplace with bookshelves built into the wall. A single table in the center of the room, which the puzzle boxes are positioned on. Wood flooring, of course, with a rug of some kind in the center of the floor. Lamps and a solitary chair. a large globe. And what else? What else do you put in these kinds of rooms? And there'd be a desk too, I guess, but where would I fit it? You know? I'm thinking we have like, I mean, we could have like one of these things. What is that called? A mahogany bureau? Is that really what it's called? Nah. Buria. A mahogany buria. Bureu. I have no idea how to pronounce that word. The wall be decorated with paintings, pictures, a notice board. Do you reckon a notice board would fit this style of room? I don't think so. I don't think so. The wall will be decorated with paintings, pictures, and other stuff. Maybe a grandfather clock, too. I think that's good. That's kind of what I had envisioned. Like, this is kind of what I have envisioned. Kind of. Yeah. I think that'll be good. All right. The general theme. A research facility. Maybe a futuristic research facility. White. Most of the walls, floors, and roofing and ceilings will be white. Metal panels will be the material. Always will have lighting along the sides. Where they meet the walls. What up, Straw Note? How you doing? Yeah, get dunt. Oh, welcome in. Wires and pipes. What are you planning to do for your game today? I am kind of figuring out what I want the art direction to be. So what I want the general theme to be, if I want any particular puzzle category rooms to be a specific theme. So for example, for the puzzle boxes, what I want is like a mahogany office room style look to them. Yeah, I want this kind of feel. Yeah, you walk in, kind of like mahogany wood. You got a fireplace, bookshelves built into the wall. There's a grandfather clock. You've got a table in the center that the puzzle box is on. There's a solitary chair. There's some lamps. Yeah, that type of stuff. I want it to look like that. Yeah. And that's going to be very different to the rest of the game's theme. Yeah. The majority will be like a futuristic sort of research facility. It's like a lot of white ramps instead of stairs. Stuff like that. How you doing, Jaeger? What's going on? Wires and pipes will run along the ceiling and parts of the walls. Which software is this? It's NeoVim. Yeah. I'm really excited to like actually get this stuff made. 'Cause if I can make this game 30% as good as what I want it to be, what I think it will be, it's gonna be freaking amazing. How you doing, Slender? Is this Notepad? No, it's NeoVim. It's right here. Lazy Vim. So it's just NeoVim with some plugins put into it. So we've got wires and pipes that run along the ceiling, as well as parts of the wall. What's the software for? It's just like a text editor, like an IDE sort of thing. So you can do code, you can do documentation, all that sort of stuff. Problem trying to make bot on Kick. When I ask for help, I've never made a bot that connects to Kick. My overlay only connects to Twitch at the moment. I need to put in some work to actually get my stuff connected to Kick. Can you use it for like writing stuff down? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment. I've got all of my MD files, which are my markdown files, that all display in here. And then if I wanted to, in here, I could go docs direction MD. Hey, and it's just text. There. Yeah. I've been fixing this for 2 hours. I'm kind of sick of it. Yeah, that they do get a bit frustrating. What is the Kick documentation like? Kick API docs. I mean, I imagine something under here would be able to help you with like app setup, OAuth 2.1, some scopes, different APIs you can hit, webhooks for events and subscribing to events and payloads, public API as well. They have a roadmap. Which they're not really working. They don't have anything in progress. Cool. Oh, there you go. No stairs in the main areas. In the main area or hallways. Only ramps. Only ramps. What else? Doorways will be 2 meters deep. The doors will be set 1 point, or will start 1.4 meters into the doorway and end 1.7 meters in the doorway. Actually, 1.4 and 1.6 meters in the doorway. 1.4 meters from into the doorway, away from the hallway, and end 1.6 meters into the doorway. Towards the puzzle room, I guess, or towards the I'll just do it away from hallway. Whoops. do. This gives enough room for hand scanning panels on the hallway side of the doors, which the player will use to either load the next room or reset the current room if not completed. Yeah. That'll work. Interactive panels. Are in the observation research room of research room above the players' quarters. These panels will have... I don't know if I want them to have like just a bottom part, or if I want them to have like a bottom part and then a top part. It's like that's where the panel is. Yeah. These panels will have a thin base they attach to, with no backing or sides. Also see-through, like a glass. Yeah, also see-through, like a glass panel. Yeah. How we doing, Dex? Tasty. Busy arting it up as per usual. How's the latter half of your day going? It's going well. We're figuring out the general art style that we want for the game. What we want the UI to look like. What we want specific puzzle category rooms to look like. Yeah. There's going to be some stuff that I don't document here because I don't want people to know about it. And the best way for me to not have people know about it is by not documenting it so that it doesn't accidentally pop up on stream at some point. So, Yeah. Panels should be... I'm about to punch my monitor. Why would you punch your monitor? Don't punch your monitor, because then you have to pay for, like, you have to buy a new one if you break it. That's silly. Silly talk. Silly talk. Jeez. I need to change how loud that is. It is. Where's the audio? Yeah, there we go. Good enough. Alright. Kind of frustrated right now. I can imagine. I've been in the same place with Twitch stuff before. Information displayed in the panels are to be blue. Are to be light blue. Shall we see through like a tinted glass panel that will make the blue easier to see? Yeah. Smart. Smart. It's called brain. Yeah. Information displayed in the panels are to be light blue. And if there is an interaction which causes an error, they go red. Yeah. What up, Brainoid? How you doing? We did call you Brainoid. Yeah. Yeah, we're doing all the smarty pants, talkity, planning, designing stuff. Yeah. And I'm trying to figure out what I did to my hand to cause my middle finger's knuckle to feel like it's been dislocated or something. If I put my thumb right there and I bend the knuckle, it feels like it's grinding. It's not good. Not good. Not good. Gamer, you're late. Maybe it's bruised. Yeah, that's what I did. And scanners display a black screen with a white grid. In the the center of the grid is the outline of a hand. In the center of the panel is an outline of a hand. When the player is scanning their hand, the white line progresses down the panel, and when it reaches the bottom, the panel flashes green or red, depending on if the scan was successful. Player allowed in the room. Not. Yeah, that type of thing. And that should be a pretty simple shader too. Mike, you're late. If the player removes their hand, they the white scan line fades out and the panel returns to normal. It should also be the player is scanning their hand. The panel gets slightly brighter. All right. What else? What else do we need to design for this? The player's main room will have a single bed, white frame, white blankets, pillows. Where walls meet the ceiling floor will be a black, dark grey sort of curved section to allow easy identification of or to contrast where floor ends and where the walls end and floor ceiling begins. We'll also need to have like because I know what I want it to look like. It's trying to describe it's difficult. It's kind of be like this, where you have like those separation in the panels, except when you get to like where the ceiling and stuff meets. It has more of like this thing here, these walkways here, where that's what I could do. No, I want the walkway to be white and there to be lights on the side. They're like, no, because there's gonna be lights up above. That's actually a better design. Most of the walls, floors, and ceilings will be white. Hallway floors will have a black walkway. Yeah, something like that. And then it like dips off a bit, goes up into the walls. Yeah. Something like that. What's next? As player's main room, we'll have a single bed, white frame blankets, white blankets, pillows. What else? A metal chair in the corner. A simple metal table against one of the walls. What else would you put in like a research room like this? I mean, interactive panel. Possibly. Could possibly do an interactive panel. To some information about puzzles and maybe more. Yeah, maybe more. I don't know, what else? What do you think? Does that sound like a futuristic research facility? I think it sounds pretty spot on to me. I think that's fine for most of that. Alright, the UI themes. Actually, is there anything else I want to do for the categories? Weejion, how you doing? What about the sound puzzles? So, like, when you go into a room, playing the new game, we're trying to figure out the art style for it, yeah. I know what the main art style is gonna be. Like, I don't want every puzzle room you go into to have, like, the exact same, the exact same theme and design and stuff. So, like, for the sound puzzles, when you go in there, I don't want it to look like a research facility in those rooms, but I also don't want it to look like a recording studio or like I don't want it to have, like, padding on the walls to, like, amplify sound and stuff like that. Because the sound puzzles will be stuff like, yeah, that will be a piano playing, maybe a record player. I guess the record player, the pianola, and stuff, we could have it set up like a 1930s living room sort of thing. Maybe not 1930s. 1930s was a shit time for design. Yeah. Like a 1910s. We could go with that type of thing. Yeah. Make it all creepy like. Pianola, the record player sounding weird, the pianola playing a weird song. Wonder if I can get the rights to, like, the license to that song. Oh, the song by Tiny Tim, "Tiptoe Through the Tulips" and stuff, like the thing that's in Insidious, the song that plays in Insidious all the time. Yeah. See if we can work that song into the puzzle, into the pianola puzzle somehow. Like set up a really creepy ambience. That would go really well with like an 1880s sort of feel too. Like you walk into a puzzle room. Like you walk into a room that's like a sound puzzle that looks like this or like this. And there's just a pianola playing that creepy ass song in the background. Yeah. Do I want it to do that? Isn't it an old ass song? Could be in the public domain. Nah, it's from like the 1960s sort of thing. It's like around about the time that Weird Al started his career. Yes. Oh, okay. So it was actually these guys, Al Dubin and Joe Burke, did it initially. And then Tiny Tim kind of made it real popular with his creepy singing of it. If it's in public domain, that'd be freaking amazing. Is there a lookup? List of public domain music. It's 1929. 1929 songs are public domain as of the 1st of January last year. Oh. Based on USA copyright law, is intended only as help in research public domain music. This is not sufficient. Blah 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 blah. To provide public domain status in the USA, you must find a published copy of the song with a copyright date of 1927 or earlier. We're working on this list. We'll have it posted shortly. That guy's temporarily disabled. Blah, 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 blah. So it could be. Unless, of course, it was bought up and renewed by someone. Because I know it's used in Insidious a lot, so it could be owned by, like, whoever does Insidious. Sound recordings released in 2026 will enter the public domain on January 1st, 2027. Sound recordings released in 1925 or earlier are in the public domain in USA. So yeah, it's not gonna be in public domain yet. I'd have to wait until, what? 29? No, 30. I'd have to wait until 1930 for it to become public domain. Why is it 100 years? That's fucking stupid. Tiptoe Through the Tulips. Public domain. And then this one has a different saying. As the lyrics and music to Tiptoe Through the Tulips will be free for anyone to copy, perform, record, adapt, or interpolate into their own song. Classic songs that are entering the public domain in 2025. 2025, a mountain of work dated between 1924 to 1929 went to the US public domain, including some well-known and beloved songs that are still regularly performed today. Sing in the Rain. Huh. Tiptoe Through the Tulips. But to stress an important point, this popularized recording performed by 1968 by Tiny Tim in a hugely unnerving falsetto is still in copyright, but the song itself is open for all to use in whatever form they want. Sound recording rights are more limited than composition rights. You can legally imitate a sound recording, even if your imitation sounds exactly the same. You just cannot copy from the actual recording. Okay. So what I can do is I can set up the in-game pianola, and I can basically just create the Tiptoe Through the Tulips track, like just the music, no audio, to be played by the pianola in the game. That sounds freaking amazing. I am gonna confirm 100% with like a group or like some legal if it is 100% in public domain. Now, let's do some words for this ad break, shall we? Do some little wordy words. Are we gonna beat level 24 tonight? I doubt it. Especially if this is how fast it goes. This is how many guesses we get. I don't like it. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good at all I can say. Actually, there was something that I saw earlier today that was interesting. That's right. Talk about it after. Rude? That is so rude, Orchrus. So rude. You nudie Rudy. Nudie Rudy Rudy Nudie. Purple. Duel. We got through it. Thank you, Orchrus. Wouldn't have been able to do it without your help. Thank you, Jaeger. Thank you, Jaeger. I don't know if I want it to be like a 1990s living room though, or if I want it to be like an 1800s, 1890s living room. Yeah. What about 1960s? Hmm. 1950s. Yeah, I saw that D-Brand. I saw that D-Brand had to issue refunds and cancel the orders of the companion cube panels of the Steam machine. Because they put it out there and they started advertising it and they started taking sales for it and such. And then Steam's lawyers got in touch with them, like, hey, you know you don't have the license to do that, right? You know you can't just take the companion cube and use it for your own stuff, right? You have to get a license to do that. I mean, I imagine that Valve or Steam will let like D-Brand at some point do companion cube panels for the Steam machine, because that just makes logical sense. Yeah. But I thought it was very funny that they just started making them and advertising them, and then didn't have any sort of permission to do it. Okay. Bloody D-Brand. Nah, not 1970s either. I do think like a early 1900s would be a better style for like a record player and pianola, stuff like that. Thank you, Leet. Thank you for fixing that. I've been telling chat to hurry up and fix it, but they don't. I don't know why. Anytime, much appreciated. Maybe it is. Maybe an 1890s is the best. 4K hot sauce, let's do it. Let's do it. Are we doing hit sauce shots? What? Rigged is always 4K. No, it's not. Jiminy grapes, is that a pepper? What's going on, you gidun? Welcome in. We are just about to have some 4K hot sauce. And we're trying to figure out the art direction for different aspects of the next game. So, yeah. What'd you get up to, Pepper? Just in time for the torture? It's not really torture, it's only 4,000 Scoville. So, yeah. It's more like a tasty snack. Yeah. The thing that we're doing. Yeah. Just getting back into this authoritative game server, finally trying to get position updates working from client inputs. Nice. Done with all the refactoring finally. It is torture if you pour it in someone's eyes. Well, we're not doing that, and I don't recommend anyone do that. Oh, did everyone hear the Stop Killing Games news earlier today? If you didn't, boy do I have some bad news. What's the latest? So, basically, the EU basically said they're not going to be passing any legislation, like any new legislation at this time. And this happened just before they announced this decision. The ESA, so this group, the Entertainment Software Association, announced that they had a meeting with the commission without Stop Killing Games present before the commission came out and said we're not passing any more, we're not passing any new legislation at this time in relation to this stuff. And to top it off, they also said that Minecraft, private Minecraft servers and private Call of Duty servers are illegal. So, alright. Yeah, so it's stupid stuff. Stupid stuff. I'll see if I can find the latest information. Where are we? Um, I wish I still had the tweets and stuff available that had all the information in it. I'll go to here because we'll be able to go to Stop Killing Games official. This here. So over in the US, the ESA, Entertainment Software Association lobby, just said live in committee on the POG Act that Minecraft community servers are illegal. This here, yeah, like there's a whole bunch of stuff out here on it at the moment. Right here, you heard it here, folks. The ESA declared Minecraft and Call of Duty private servers illegal in today's hearing on the POG Act. Yeah. So I guess the EU didn't say they're illegal. The ESA is saying that they're illegal. And they're probably going to try and start shutting them down now. But yeah, this comes after they basically said they're not going to be doing any more. What do you call it? Any new laws or bills in relation to this stuff. So, Jennifer Gibbons, VP of Entertainment Software Association, said Minecraft community servers are illegal. Thank you for lying about the law to the California Senate in public. Lets everyone see what we've been up against. But yeah. It's the way the EU works, or pretend. Nothing is done for the citizens. It's all an illusion. Check how France voted against the EU constitution in like 2005, and it was forced down on its people, etc. It's all pretend votes, and it works because most EU people really believe their voting will bring in change. You cannot bring change when the system is designed from the ground up for preferences for big players while taxing or fining them down. Look at GDPR, large companies complained while smirking. Yeah. All the small companies had to deal with it at huge cost, etc. Translation, we hate gamers, and also, fuck your private servers, you're going down. So, and I watched a clip from those meetings. The only game those people making the decisions have played is Candy Crush. So, there's two things that I think should come from this. First of all, we have a list right here of all the publishers and game development studios that are members of the ESA. Just stop buying games that these companies are involved with. If they don't have any money coming in, all of a sudden they just leave the gaming industry because there's no money coming in. Yeah? After 2 years of no money coming in, they're gone. This done. Simple. But we know people aren't going to do that because people are going to be upset about it, but they're not actually going to do anything about it. That's the way people work. The other thing that I think will eventually come from this is in the next 5 years or so, people are going to be very aware that their governments keep siding with large corporations and not the general public. And the general public's just gonna be like, we're sick of this. We're removing all of you from power, whether you want to or not. Like, that's just how it's gonna be. I can live without games from all these publishers, except I just got a Switch 2 a few months ago. Tisk. I haven't bought from Ubisoft for like 10 years ago. I don't remember the last time I bought a game from any of these companies. It was probably a Resident Evil from like 2020 that I bought. Yeah. But yeah, I'm basically just urging people that if they want to treat us like crap, we just stop buying their stuff. That's it. But we know that's not going to happen because, yeah, there's going to be people now that are like, hey, we don't care. And then they'll keep buying all this like stuff from all these companies. And then in like 10 years time, when stuff's real shit, those people now that don't care are going to be the ones that are like really loud and complaining. And then all of us just look back and go, yeah, we tried to get you to do something about this, but you didn't want to. It's your fault. So yeah, just don't buy games from those publishers. I'm trying to design the level for my new game. Like, not the level, but a room for my next game. Trying to figure out if I want it to be like an 1890s, like a late 1800s or an early 1900s aesthetic. I feel going like a late 1800s style living room. That's basically the only way I can explain it. That is the only way to explain it. A late 1800s style living room. FYI, how is the group site real? Just see the logo usage on that webpage. 99% sure most of them go against their own design specs, usages, policies. For a group representing them, they really didn't do much effort because they know nobody cares or is going to go on that website or page that has any importance. Another illusion. Yeah. It's very true. Very true. But hey, I'm hopefully going to lead the way, or not lead the way. I'm hopefully going to help people follow things like stop killing games and whatnot. Yeah, push them into following that stuff. I've already dropped Discord. So if I can convince more people to drop Discord and move to like Stoat or something, excellent. What's our UI theme gonna be? Every voice counts. Even in the illusion, because it's our only hope for people to wake up and smell the coffee. Hopefully not instant coffee. Yeah. Currently people are sipping on instant coffee. We need to get them to wake up to real, proper, ground bean coffee. Discord is also a terrible platform. It is. Wake up and smell the ashes of creation. I had to. You set it up for me. So, the UI theme. What do I want the UI theme to be? This is a perfect use case for game UI database. Kinds of garbage that people that thrive on Discord is scary. It can be. Not steampunk, futuristic. Genres. What do you mean? I've done like 2 things, for fuck's sake. Oh, glowing edges. Okay. Not really seeing much. It's like jumping out at me. Do you self-host your Stoat server? No. The reason being because if anyone gets onto the server, or if anyone that's on the server is hacked, and any illegal potential material is posted, handling that material so that you can give it to law enforcement for them to investigate that's way too much. So I've just got it as a Stoat hosted thing. If anything like that comes into the server, report it to Stoat, delete it from the server. Stoat have it on their end that they can, they can hash it, put it in a zip file, send it through to law enforcement, and be like, that they can deal with that. They can deal with that kind of shit. I'm not. I'm staying away from any of that. Yeah. All of this stuff is like combat type of UIs. See, that's more in-game UI. That's more of an in-game UI. It is a nice type of UI style. You know? I mean, that's a good type of UI with like the glowing buttons and stuff. So the art style is going to be like the Turing test. What? The art style is just going to be what the game looks like. Like, what's the UI look like? What do the rooms look like? What's going to be... Like, is it metal or wood? Is there anywhere there's going to be like, you know, a degraded sort of area where it's like rusted metal if we do have metal, or broken and warped wood if it's a wooden room, like that type of stuff. The main thing that I want at the moment is not just every panel, but something like mode select screen. And also, what's the home page going to look like? What's the title page going to look like? Oh, there's a game called Turing Test. Kind of. Like, it's gonna have white metal paneling for the walls, but it's not gonna be this type of design. It'll be more of like a flat design where it's like what? Where are we? Sort of like this, where it's like flat polished metal panels sort of thing. And then the walkways, like in the hallways and stuff, will be like a black walkway sort of thing. That like dips off before it connects to the walls and whatnot. I checked that Stoat has less than 1.5 million registered users, and Discord has 200 million active users and almost 700 million registered accounts total. Watch point. The problem is that people don't want to install new applications and create new accounts, but instead have one universal one. I don't care. Like, I don't see that as an argument. Basically, your argument is, let's just accept that everything's becoming shit and not do anything about it. That's basically what that argument leans towards. You know? Oh, there's like a light bridge too. That's cool. I'm not having stairs in my game. It's just going to be like platforms that you go up. Yeah, so it's like flat platform that, like, not a flat platform. It's a raised platform that like slightly inclines, sort of thing. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be that type of it's going to be similar to Turing Test, by the looks of it. The argument is that change is hard and people don't want or like change. Yes, but I don't like those arguments because using those arguments just makes people go, well, if that's the case, why bother? And you don't want people to have that attitude. You want to convince people to move away from the large shit and go towards the good stuff. Yeah. It's nice to test something new, but if you have 100 apps on your phone, it's challenging to manage this. Again, I don't see that as an argument. Like, you're basically coming up with excuses why people should just stay on Discord. You know? I mean, if that's the route you want to go, then in 10, 20 years' time, when you don't have a PC in your house because no one sells commercial PC parts anymore, and the only way you can play a game is by streaming it from a streaming service, then you've only got yourself to blame. Install Stoat and remove Discord. You will have the same number of apps. Correct. It's exactly correct. But yeah. Anyone that wants to stay and just accept that everything's going to be terrible and not do anything about it, those are the people that don't have anyone but themselves to blame when everything inevitably does become shit. Like, you have the ability to do something about it. If you choose not to do something about it out of the fact that you want to have ease of use, then that's your problem. You won't have access to large communities. So what you're saying, Jaeger, is you have FOMO. Like, if everyone that was like, yes, I want to move away from Discord, but everyone's on Discord, so I'm not going to move away. If all of those people went, hey, let's just move over to Stoat, all of a sudden, you've got those large communities on Stoat. So do you see how the argument is counterproductive? How you doing, Wind? What do we want the art style to be? Tilted. No, we don't want half-tone, do we? Nah. We don't want half-tone. Jersey, thanks for colouring me. It would be nice if people wanted to migrate between services like that, but it doesn't work. People do want to migrate. The reason they don't migrate is because of what you said, where they want to stay with the large community. But because people don't talk about this openly as much as they should, people don't realize just how many people out there would be more than happy to move to get away from the enshittification of products. To Stoke. Like, everyone's saying, oh, I'm going to stay here because this is where the large community is. Instead of everyone going, hey, why don't we move to this better platform that doesn't have all of the enshittification of the last 5 years on it? That shifts it completely. Yeah, it gets everyone going, oh, everyone, like, we're moving to this platform that doesn't have ads popping up everywhere. Cool. Fair. I'm not going to argue it anymore because the argument's just going to go around in circles. It's going to be you saying, oh, but people want to stay where there's more people, and there's going to be me saying, yes, but if those people actually spoke about actually wanting to move, then they would realize that more people would want to actually move than they think, and then everyone would move, but it's just going to go back and forth around in a circle. So, not going to bother. The conversation has run its course 3 times already. Do birds in AU fly north for the winter? Yes. Yes, they do. That is exactly what they do. We could go like an abstract, maybe. What's an abstract UI look like? Nah, that doesn't work. No. Now, I think going with a flat style is probably the better option. Ooh, we can have... That's something we can have. 35! Nicely done, Jersey. There will be multiple UI themes for the main menu. The theme will be based on what will be based on... Oh, I want it to change based on where they're up to in game. Yeah. Based on what their score is for the current playthrough. No. No, I don't want to do that. That'll take a long time, and it's gonna be hell to implement. Absolute hell to implement. Main menu. The main menu will be a camera feed of the... Actually, we'll switch between a camera feed of the player's room and the research observation room. These will be scripted views with the NPCs moving around in specific loops and the player's chosen character looping. And the player's chosen character, if there is a game in progress, or if there is a playthrough in progress. The player's chosen character will be asleep if there is a playthrough in progress, because what we're going to have is whenever the player goes into the game, they will wake up from their bed in the main room and get out of bed, and that's when the player picks up from wherever they left off. You know, there's no save games or anything like that. You just have the one that you play through, and then once you complete that, you can start a new playthrough. And I want to see if I can get the playthroughs linked together. So in your second playthrough, there's like references to the previous playthrough where they're like, you know, maybe at the start, they're like, you hear one of them go like, you know, if you did terribly in your first playthrough, one of them says something like, let's hope this one it like does better, or, you know, maybe this one can figure out the paradoxes, you know, stuff like that. You know, they can reference back. Yes. These will be scripted views. So the player will be asleep. You'll have like the research assistants moving around up in the research area. Maybe have them do some secret-y stuff. That could work. The UI will be overlaid on be an overlay on top of the camera feeds. And should adopt the same effects. Scan line, scan lines, jitters, etc. So occasionally like a scan line goes through, or maybe they always have scan lines, or maybe there's like a, whatever effect makes it look like it's from a security feed sort of thing. The field of view. Maybe it glitches from time to time. Yeah. The UI will be an overlay on top of the camera feeds. It should adopt the same effects. What should the buttons look like? Do I want it to be simple like this, where it's just like the text and it has like a highlight applied behind it? Full reset. Jesus Christ. Jesus. Or do we have something more like this where it's like solid buttons and the one that you have selected changes color? Have the version number displayed somewhere. That's a good idea. Yep. What up, Ray? How we doing? I need to figure out the font too. Menu buttons will be pure text unless selected. The selected button should have an animation for its effects, and buttons losing focus should actually for their effects. Oh my god, I keep doing that. Buttons losing or gaining focus should have an animation for their effects. Just like a 0.4. I should really commit this up to Git as well at some point. Oh, you know what else I should do? You know what else I should do? Copy Godot scene custom into Puzzler Engine. There we go. The reason why I'm copying that over is so that when I commit this up to my Git, down the track, I can just copy. Like if I delete the Godot engine code, or if I lose it for whatever reason, I can just check it out again, copy that directory over, as well as copy the Godot scene, the Godot sconstruct into Puzzler Engine, and the Godot scene sc sub into Puzzler Engine. And that's all we need. Sweet. Sweet. Selection for the focus animation should go from the focus animations should move from left to right and either add or remove the color or the visuals based on if focus is gained or lost. Yeah, so it'll fade in. So from left to right, you select a button, it like fades in whatever its visuals are, and then you go down to the next one, it fades it out from left to right. And that way, if you go back up, that fade out still plays, but the highlight now plays as well. So, what up, Hunderkuchen? How you doing? Sprig, how are you doing as well? Good night to you. I like this. I like this. So, Australia tied with Paraguay in FIFA. And Paraguay have just knocked out Germany this morning. So, Australia is better than Germany? That's how I like to look at it. Yep. not selecting. Buttons. Clicking the button will... activating the buttons will have a small sort of like echo effect sort of thing. Yep. I think that's what you call it. You like click it and it like radiates out from all sides of the thing. I'm going with that. All right. Oops. Sliders. Checkboxes. Carousels. I think those are the only UI elements we're going to have, I think. I know this isn't the most entertaining piece of work, but this is going to make the end result of the game so much better. Knowing exactly what I want the UI to be, and then just designing that, and not getting halfway through designing it and being like, actually, let's change this. Because I didn't properly design Bobble Shop Sim UI the first time around. I had to rebuild the entire UI from the ground up like 3 times. If I had have properly designed that, like documented what I wanted it to look like and stuff over a day, and then just built that, I would have had Bobble Shop Sim finished like 3 months earlier. Absolute nightmare. Because, yeah, we only need sliders. Oh, we could have a Boolean type thing like that. Ooh. Ooh. Not checkbox. Boolean option. How do we want that to be? This can be... Actually, we'll come back to that after the ads. Words. We're going to do words, y'all. I hope you're ready for some words. Words are going to be in your face. Let's do it. I believe in you, chat. You're the best spellers in the world. Attic. There we go. So you're writing the GDD now. Kind of, yeah. And then I can start building like the models and stuff for the rooms and whatnot. Tic tac. What's the big word? Is it... Cadillac? No. Hmm. Tactical! Ah! Nicely done, Mike. I don't know how to... I didn't know that's how you spell Cadillac, Ouija. I just... there is that, but I don't think that's going to be a word. Calc. Talc. Talc! Nice. Whoa, Talc got us over the line. Very nicely done, y'all. Woot woot. We'll do one more. Go on to level 3. Level the threat. Nets. Have me some water. Whoops. Sentry. Scent. I did see that Seribot. Thank you. Yearns. Well, fine. Rents. Jeez. Phrase. Oh, we need one more. There's plenty of options. Plenty of options. We'll play it safe. Actually, we'll try this one. Alright, we'll go Tray. Tray! Nicely done. I'm proud of you all. You've proven you can spell. Congrats. Level 4 on the next ads. I can spell, you sure about that? I think you can. I think that's what you were doing. Unless you were just using, like, Jeopardy to enter words for you. Beepers. What's this going on? Yeah, that stuff. Yep. Bloody tax time. I get to tell the tax man, this is how much money I spent on making stuff. This is how much money I made. Since it's negative, can you please give me like $5,000? I need to see if there's a way I can defer stuff. Like, can I defer the cost of the Steam Deck to next financial year? Because I only use the Steam Deck to test things for the games I'm building. So, like, make sure they work on the Steam Deck. Make sure that, like, Steam Cloud autosave stuff syncs from from like when I save something on my PC, it syncs onto the Steam Deck and stuff like that. It's purely for work stuff. So I can write it off as a business expense. So I hope I can defer that until next year. Because then any money I make from Bobble Shop Sim and anything else I do through like YouTube videos and stuff, I can be like, let's... Are you self-employed or you got something like an LLC? I'm self-employed. I'm a sole trader, but I also have a business name. Yeah. A simple on-off Boolean option, which flips the selected option to be highlighted and removes the highlight from the previous or from the other. Yeah. Yeah, like technically I could claim like internet and electricity and like a portion of my apartment that I do the streams from and the game development from and stuff like that. I could claim a bunch of that stuff as deductibles, but you have to go through like a whole thing where you look at your data usage for your internet, and you have to calculate like how much of the usage was for work, how much was for personal, and then apply that as its own calculation. Like apply that to your monthly cost and stuff. So it's like, all right, every month I use like, I don't know, 2 terabytes. 1.4 of that was streaming. So that percentage of my bill each month is what I claim on tax. But I can't be fucked like that. That stuff's just I have to go back through and be like, all right, what days didn't I stream? Okay, so I didn't stream those days. So on the days that I did stream, how much of the data usage was for streaming? It's a nightmare. It would be good if I could look at like a Twitch dashboard and go like how much like upload was there over the last 12 months sort of thing. The juice not worth the squeeze. Yeah, it's just a pain in the ass. So simple on-off boolean, sliders and carousels. An arrow on either side of the selected option. Underneath will be a row of pills corresponding to the number of options available. Clicking on a pill will jump to that element. The arrow buttons will follow, or will have a highlight when focused, hovered. It will have a highlight when focused and an outline when hovered. When hovered, these buttons will show an outline. I'm liking this. We're making some good progress. Got some good stuff being planned here. This is actually making me want to work on the UI as well. Like, to make this carousel here as like its own component that has like these pills and stuff like that. And it's weird to be excited to work on UI. It's very, very weird. Highlight when focused and outline when hovered. I could do that, actually. Nah, I'm not going to do that. Never mind. The arrow buttons will have... the pills underneath the selection will be outlined only, except for the pill corresponding to the selection, which will be filled. Hovering a pill will make its outline larger. Yes, that'll work. Like it. Sliders. I guess, yeah, sliders and scroll bars are different. Scroll bars. So sliders will not have arrows. They'll have a highlighted area will match the... God, color theme for the color theme will match the button focus highlight color. The unselected area of the slider will just be an outline. What can the handle look like? Because I don't want it to just be a circle. You know? I don't want it to be a circle or a bar. Maybe... Is there anything specific in the game? Maybe the facility logo. Whatever ends up being the logo for the research, or for the company conducting the research, will be the slider handle. Yeah. That could go well. That reminds me, what should the company be called? Because they're like a tech company. It's a tech company doing the research. There's going to be references to a biomedical company, which will be the next game after this that we make. Like the next game after this we based around that biomedical company, so there'll be some references and stuff there. And in total, I want there to be 5 companies. 4 games that explore 4 of the companies. And the 5th game is basically the culmination of all of those games, where the 5th company finally gets unveiled. Because the 5th company is just like a... You don't know what the company is. There's references to them. You like might see a logo here and there, but not know what the name of the company or something like that. Holy damn, it's a Rembot! G'day, you g'dunts. How are ya? What's up, Arno? What's up, Shiox? What we up to, Rembot? Tell us all about it. Give us the details. I'm just working on, like, design documents and stuff for our new game. So, nothing mind-blowing going on here, apart from the mustache. Sick Island game stuff. Nice. Do you have anything that you want to share? Thank you for the follow too. Much appreciated. Fantastic. Get done. Must ask you a question. I must answer your question. But I'm shaving it for later. Never joke about shaving. How dare you? Just standard island game stuff. Sounds relaxing. Is it a tropical island or is it a zombie island? That'll probably determine if it's relaxing or not. What's we coding? We're not coding anything at the moment. We're kind of just doing some design document stuff. But we are kind of planning our next game. Yeah. Eat, sleep, code, repeat. I prefer to work on a eat, code, break, code, sleep, repeat cycle. That's my cycle. Okay. Long day, correct. Correct. Yep. Eat, sleep, 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 code. Nah. Maybe when I'm 60 or 70 and I'm getting up 15 times a night to go take a piss, then my pattern will be like that. But yeah. Yeah, I'm learning C++. Nice. Nice. We actually made some changes to the Godot engine. We added some custom state machine and base state stuff. And we'll add some custom behavior tree nodes. And we'll add a menu manager and an interaction manager and stuff like that into our engine code. Just to make it more frustrating for people that want to rip our game and pass it off as their own under a different name and whatnot. Make it more frustrating for them to be able to do that. They'll still be able to do it if they know how to use the tools that do it, but those tools generally require a higher level of technical knowledge. So, yeah. But yeah, we're just designing our UI components at the moment. We've got some of our bits and bobs worked out. Oh, actually, delete that. Add fonts. Add models. Add materials. Add textures. Add. We don't. Add icons. Add branding. And shaders. And also we want theme. They're the different things we need. Beautiful. Beautiful. What lane we using? Vicious Cat. We're using a combination, so most of it's going to be GD script. But we are doing some bits of the game, like some aspects of the game, in C++ inside the Godot engine. Just to give us more C++ experience and potentially after this game the ability to contribute to like fixing bugs and stuff like that in the engine. Also, project settings. Actually, export, add Linux, add Windows, go, demo. No, don't want them. If checked, the presets will be available for use in one quick deploy. Only one preset per platform may be marked as runnable. Don't care about that. I don't care about that. Filters to export non-resource files and folders. Filters to exclude. Demo. Add. Release. Release. So they have the demo tag, you don't. Beautiful. That makes sure that our engine code that we've written for Godot is in our Git when we push it up, but it's not exported with the project mistakenly or anything like that. I like it. The scroll bars. Similar to the sliders, except with no highlighted area and arrows on either end. Yep. Bam! I think those are the only UI components we're actually going to have. Buttons, sliders, scroll bars, Boolean options, carousels. Do we need toggle buttons? Is there a need for toggle buttons? These are the age-old questions. I don't think there is. Not in our menu. Not even in our... Not even any part of the UI would there be toggle buttons. I'm not sure if I want to add a tab bar. Do I want a tab bar? I probably do want a tab bar. if I'm being honest. Control that provides a horizontal bar with tabs. Similar to tab container, but is only in charge of drawing tabs, not interacting with children. So if we have a look at tab container, which is here, container that creates a tab for each child control, displaying only the active tab's control. Arranges child controls into a tabbed view, creating a tab for each one. The active tab's corresponding control is made visible, while all other child controls are hidden. Ignores non-controlled children. Drawing of the clickable tabs is handled by this node. Tab bar is not needed. Okay, so we can do a tab container. A UI is needed. Well, actually, customization of the UI. So, specific elements will need to support changing between keyboard mouse icons and controller icons. In addition, some controller icons will need to show hide when input changes between controller keyboard. So for example, in here, you can see how it's got the LB and the RB. That wouldn't need to be there for... Like, those wouldn't need to be there for keyboard and mouse. These ones down here, when it's keyboard, you would want to change those. And probably just drop the icons completely. So no icon display for these when it's keyboard. Just like, you click that, or like maybe you give it a key, but what would you use? Like apply, like escape would be back, but pressing enter shouldn't necessarily apply it. I would say pressing enter should go to the next option. Same with tab, should go to the next option. Shift tab should go back up one. And then if you're at the top, have it go back up and select whichever one's currently being displayed, whichever one's currently selected. So then that you can press like... Actually, no. Shift tab when you're at the top will go to the bottom. Tab when you're at the bottom will go to the top of the list. And if you want to get back into this selection, you press escape and it just selects whichever one's selected here. And then when this is selected and you press tab, it goes over to here. When you press enter, it focuses the first option. That's the idea. Thank you for the hydrate, Fanny Slam. Oh, I'm gonna do some exercise after this stream. Do a bit of cardio before bed. Shift tab is common Steam overlay shortcuts. It is. It is, but it's also the default previous shortcut in everything. Like, in every application, in every website, if I press tab and then I press shift tab, yeah. How you doing, you nerdy nerds? Nerdy nerds squared. Be making everything or game? I'm going with standard accessibility options. Because you've got to remember, Orchrus, that just because I'm making a game, if someone that needs accessibility plays the game, why should I force them to use a different accessibility standard just because of Steam? Why not let them use the same accessibility standard that they use everywhere else? Seems a bit ridiculous. Let's see. And those people would probably have the Steam overlay side of things configured to not pop up when they're doing their accessibility. Yeah. And we can always do some research right now and go Steam games, shift tab, select previous. When you use Steam overlay to view a guide in game. No, that's not what I want. Well, that's just doing that. Pop the overlay and go in settings. The game tab, there you go. Had a bug like that for a decade. That's not it. You know if there's a way to change the shortcut of opening Steam while you're playing? Yep. Select the previous item in the Steam overlay. I don't want to do that. Select previous menu option. Jeez, there is nothing on this. Select previous menu option in Steam games. You typically use the back button on the controller or keyboard. No, you don't. That's if you want to. If that's if you want to go to the previous menu. not the previous option in the current menu. Stupid. I mean, there are the directional keys. Like, I can just have the directional keys do it. And just remove tab and shift tab completely. But it's like, why do that? Why couldn't Steam default the Steam overlay to something like Control Tab? No one uses Control Tab for anything. Why Shift Tab? Why an accessibility key? Bloody Steam. Shift tab hijacked by Steam overlay. Let's see. I cannot see anything on this. Game accessibility, select previous item in menu. None of this is going to talk about what I'm doing, right? I guess I can just get rid of the UI next. I can just delete the tab and shift tab stuff to avoid the conflict with the Steam thingamajig. It's going to impact accessibility, but yeah. What was one thing that I saw here? That's right. What was it? How are we going to allow users to send bugs and feedback? Where should these be sent to? Email? What can be done to filter out duplicate bug reports? In-game feedback systems. In-game bug and feedback. In-game bug reporting. Beta Hub? What's this? Players report, you fix, they know. Beta Hub is the Discord integrated bug and feedback reporting platform for game studios. Don't want it. In-game bug reporters give players the opportunity to give feedback as quickly and as easily as possible. There are a few tips and tricks to bear in mind to get the most out of them. In-game bug reporter that has been incredibly useful. Players have been very kind in submitting bug reports and suggestions through it. And we usually get a couple of hundred reports a day. It's like, so feedback, if it's feedback or bug, comments, severity, attach save data, attach screenshot, retake screenshot, send. Okay. In modern games, I often see they're using Q and E to switch between group of options and up and down arrows to select the option, and space or left-right arrows to change the option. Do be true. That is true. Because then it mirrors a controller as much as possible. With the controller going left and right being LB and RB. Instead of Q and E. And the selecting an option being A. Changing the option being, you know, just analog stick or left-right stuff. Yeah. This is very true. This is very true. Put as much information as possible. System specs, Windows version. Ugh. Ugh. CPU, GPU, RAM information, etc. Current game information. If there is information about the player's current game state that is not present in a screenshot, make sure to include it in files or logs. For example, what skills they have equipped, where are they in the overworld, what quests are they, yep, that's fair, all the log files and whatnot. Give each reporter a player-facing unique ID. Players will often use the in-game bug reporter and then follow it up about it in Discord by showing them a copy-pastable unique ID after submitting a report. They can use it when asking for more help or adding info. Fair enough. Filter by game version. Yep. Filter gross comments. Players will be frustrated by bugs and will take some foul language. QA's job is to help identify bugs in the game, not to be abused or read hate speech. So you'll need to filter out any comments with hateful content. Like, honestly, my approach to this is if a player is that frustrated that they're using that kind of language, you know what I do? I just delete the feedback or the bug report. I'm just like, you want it fixed? Be polite. Like, I'm sure someone else has reported the issue that has reported it politely. So, just completely delete it. Make reports searchable. Translate all reports into your QA's language. Allow optional user ID. So, like, what I'm thinking... Because I don't just want it to go through to, like, a forum post or to create a ticket on a ticket board or something. Like, I don't want to do that. I could, in theory, I could set up like a ticket board software, have a database running that records the info, have 2 tables, one with the like actual tickets that we're going to work on, and one with reports that we need to filter through. That'd be a simple UI. Reminds me of when I worked in fintech. We developers never got the angry feedback from customers. It was filtered out for us. Indie devs don't have that luxury. I used to work in a call center. Like, I got no problem dealing with people that are speaking like that. I remember there was one person who called up on a Friday night at 7 p.m, an hour before we closed. And they were like, I need my power on. And I was like, sure. Earliest we can do that at this time on a Friday? Tuesday morning. They're like, no, I need it on now. And I was like, can't do that. Surprisingly, at this time of night, like, technicians aren't working right now. Like, if you want, you can pay for a fee to get it connected, potentially Sunday. But we can't guarantee it. We can guarantee for Monday if you pay for the, like, get it connected fast. They might be able to do it Sunday. Rarely they'll be able to do it Saturday, you know? And they did not like that at all. They were pissed off. They were swearing their head off. They were insulting me. And I was like, you're going to have to calm down, or I'm going to have to hang up the call if you keep talking like that. They kept going off me. They were like, you won't hang up. I hung up on them. I was like, it's 7 p.m. on a Friday. I don't give a fuck. I'm going home to where I have power. I have electricity on at my place. They called back, they got another representative. They were perfectly fine. They weren't swearing, they weren't aggressive. They knew they weren't getting anywhere with that kind of attitude. So, yeah. But I think this is actually like this bug reporting thing, having a ticketing system that is shown on a Hypnotic Games website. That could be good. I can make my website and I can have that be one of the pages. Yes. Okay. I like this. I like this idea. It's beautiful. What up, Meowface? My fave call center interaction was a fellow who was swearing at me and complaining about paying international long distance, so I put him on hold for 20 minutes. Oh. It's like, oh, you're gonna pay for that. Literally. Let me put you on hold. Ah. So good. So good. G'day, Cam. How you doing? We will build a hypnoticgames.com website, which will have a ticket tracker that players can view, not edit. All reports from the in-game feedback system. Let's guess what woke me up today. Cats. We're going to raid out to Rian. That's what we're going to do. All reports from the in-game feedback system will create a ticket on a hidden page. And when approved, are moved to the public page. This way, everyone knows what is being worked on and what is already reported. Beautiful. I will see you all in the morning. I'm going to get some exercise in before I go to bed. Whatever you're exercising, it's going to be just some cardio stuff. So, gonna do some like burpees and some like jumping jacks and maybe some jump rope stuff and all that kind of stuff. Maybe some planking, do some core. But yeah, I will be back in the morning at like 11 hours from now, like 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, 11 hours from now. We will actually start making the 3D models and stuff. Hello, Zakua. Bye, Zakua. I'm doing good, Zakua. But have a good one, because I need to go exercise. Toodles all.